everybody, and welcome to another tutorial. Today we will cover the LM Studio, which will provide local LLMs to your machine. And as you can see here, there are multiple options such as the GPT, Qwen, Gemma, DeepSeek, and many more. And well, yeah, let's just head in and show you how you can get your models up and running and how you can use this in your daily coding sessions. So for me, I have downloaded the Linux version. You should be able to use the Windows, Mac, whatever your operating system is. And then I have launched the application. So we have something up and running here. You'll probably be introduced to this screen at the very start. And let's just dive into the model search at the left side here. And here we have a lot of different versions. But what you need to make sure is that you can actually run these because some of them are very large. So to start off, let's start with something easy. There is the Gemma 4, which is a Google model. Let's start with if you click the show 3 more staff pics here, I can get the Gemma 4 E2B. It's a 2B that determines the size of this model. So I already have it downloaded. You should be able to choose it here. And let me just go back here, and you can see here in my models that I have the model right here. If you click it and press the cogwheel, you should be able to see all kinds of settings. And these we can look into later on. But first I just want to show you that it works out of the box, basically. If I click to show, hide all the advanced settings, you only see like the context and the GPU load. There are some more settings if you need to, but let's just try this like it is. And here we see it's loading and it's been loaded. We can eject it from the memory here, but we will have it stay there for a second. And by going in here, we can now prompt it like, tell me who Harry Potter is. Load a model. Oh, I thought we already did. Okay. Oh, we just had to choose it maybe? Oh no. It should be there already. Oh, that was the other chat. Anyways, let's just continue on this one. So there we go. That was pretty simple prompt with a pretty simple result. So let's try to push this a little bit further. Let's go back here, and if you choose the Gemma E4B, and I probably already now need to say that I have 8 gigabytes of virtual memory and like 32 gigabytes of RAM. So when I go in here, I already have it. I choose, I can choose it up here instead, the Gemma for E4B, and I have all of these settings. I need to look up here at the estimated GPU gigabyte of VRAM it will use. If it exceeds the amount you have, it will just crash or won't load at all. So we need to make sure it's below 8 gigabytes. Right now I'm also recording this video, and that will be a bit more spikes above this estimate. So I'll just tune this a bit down, and we can also take this down to like 5,000 for this test. There was some quantization here, which helps us as well. You can hover it to see what it does. It reduces the memory, but it'll be less precise in choosing the correct words. Let's go ahead and let me prompt it again, and you probably notice it should be slower than the other one. Might not be as fast here, but it's also it has a larger model to work with, so we can bring in more quality content. So it's like a trade-off from having quality to having a fast result. All right, we can just stop it here. So you can prompt, you can talk to it instead of going to the online models. You can also go down here actually, and I'm not going to go into depth with this one, but there are the integrations where you can add in an MCP, and as you can see here, it can basically do whatever it wants if you let it. In some very edge cases, it might, let's say, just delete something from your computer that shouldn't be deleted, or you could corrupt your computer. So you gotta use it with caution, of course, and that's why they're giving you this warning. So yeah, here you can just add whatever you want to run, and you can enable it in the chat, and then you can, let's say you want to ask it, oh, what's on the front page of whatever website, and it can tell you what's there. But all right, let's go into something I find a little bit more cool. If you go in here on the developer tab, you can see here you have a server that you can boot up. I'll just hide this. All right, so here we can press the load model, and by doing so we can choose one of our models. So for this test, I want to bring in this llama free with 8 billion and see if we can get it to run. So as you see here, there is a pretty good amount of available RAM, but I'm not sure how much we can rely on this necessarily, but I'll try to give it a go. And now you see that I have started the server and I have loaded this model. So if you have your IDE up and running, you can use all kinds of different extensions to interact with this LM Studio. I have found and decided to use Cline. I find it the best one right now, at least from what I've seen. And whenever you install it and you have it open, you will at the start have to set it up and whatever. You can just try to skip all the setup stuff and go into settings. If you do so, you can find the API provider. It's a drop down. Just type in LM Studio, you get it here, and you can then actually see all the available models for your in your models on the LM Studio. So I'm just gonna pick one here, and the Cline extension here, it has like small. I think I tweaked it a little bit because it was a little bit buggy at sometimes. But you can just see here my settings if you want to copy them, and that's pretty much it. So let's press done, and from here I have a empty project, and I just want to like give it a prompt and let's see what it can do. So I'm gonna copy in here. You see down here which model you have, and before we do anything, if you click this, you can then click what permissions your agent needs to have. And I think you need to be a little bit cautious with execute all commands. I have enabled these save commands let's just let's be a little bit cautious with what it writes in the command prompt. It could be hallucinating on you or whatever. All right, so cool. Let me pop this in. I wanted to start planning a file which will describe this little project I wanted to build. And this might, let's see if it actually works or not. It could be a little bit unstable if I'm also recording. So as you see here, it starts working. It'll then generate tokens like this. And in the Cline extension, we should see something be working. That's a little bit out of the plan, but okay. But yeah, it's still going. And if we draw in here like some system details, like this, you can see the CPU starts running. We have the GPU running, and a lot of memory is occupied right now. So there's not much room for all kinds of stuff. If you put let's find it in here somewhere. If you put the GPU load too high, and there's not a lot of virtual memory, it will actually start breaking your UI. So if it gets a little bit tweaky, you can just drag it a little bit down, so we have a little bit of memory, a little buffer. But yeah, all right, it's ready, it says, so that probably means it's done, and it didn't work. So right here, it didn't work at all. Try again, maybe it can. Okay, it didn't work. Maybe it's because I'm running recording at the same time. Let me dump it down to an easier model. So if we go back to the LM Studio, all right, let's proceed. So the greater graphic card or just basically hardware you have with a lot of virtual memory, the larger model you can run in and execute, and you'll get a better quality basically. So for my 8 gigabytes of virtual memory, it's something, but it's not like wow, a huge amount. There are some models that are so large. That's you need a very big rig to run it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back here. I'll change this up. Let's bring in the E2B. That's a little bit. It's a cheap one, but let's try it out. It might be not generating the best results, but it's probably going to run at least. So I'm gonna pick this one. I'll slide let's add in 22 gigabytes of. No, yeah, okay. It's basically tokens we define here, and we put in the offload, put in the thread pool. Let's drop this a little bit, and this one as well, and put these at Q8. So basically, this is the very high quality as far as I know. This will go down a bit, and this will, yeah, it'll be all right if you run like larger models, but if you go further down, it's not going to be the highest quality. But anyway, oh, we're gonna pick the same. All right, let's try this out. See what happens. I'm loading this in. Let's try to clear this prompt. Oh, that's the wrong one. And let's try to prompt it again as the plan. Oh, I'm just gonna give it an 8. Okay, and let's see what's gonna happen. Alright, so it seems like it's just skipping the entire planning thing and just it wants to build it. And I'm just gonna let it run, see whatever thing we are going to get. It seems to be running a template here, and it's building all of these, and that's just from the command line. And yeah, we're back to doing nothing, I guess. Let's try to restart this one. I found this model to be a little bit weird when interacting with the command prompt like we did here, or maybe it's just Cline, I don't know. And I guess this one with the invalid API response could also be that the model is not returning a valid format to the extension because it could be hallucinating a little bit. Um, but yeah, let's just see what's going to happen if we let it run. So I'm not sure if it tried to actually do anything here. Alright, so if we have a quick look here, we can, I think, just run npm start dev. Oh, I need to go into React first here. Oh, is it run? Read command not found. Okay, so now we have the packages and I'm running this. If I copy this and put it into our browser, that wasn't the thing at all. I want to go to local 5173. Alright, let's try again here. And that is basically just I believe the project, the template project that it initiated. It wrote a single file, must have been this one, but it wrote it in the incorrect position. And it says hello world. And then, okay, it should be saying wow. Alright, so it did put it in the wrong position here. If I rename this one to F1 and we drag this one in here and I run it again. I need to, okay, we have this one and I click it. Okay, it actually did it, to be fair. And this is not the best model at all to run uh, coding stuff on. There is also the other one you could look into, um, which was the Gemma for this one, the 4B. It has a bit more thinking going on, and so does the others actually. To be fair, the Qwen free also has been pretty good, I think. I can try to load it up a little bit to give another demonstration that might be a little bit more smooth. Um, Alright, so I just cleaned up the thing before. I just want to move this out to the root so it might not be as confused. And now I want to show you the client what we need to show the client here, and I'm gonna go into the LM Studio, and I want to use the Qwen free 4 billion parameters here. So it's the thinking I need, and I might tune this a little bit down so we have a chance. And let's try it out and see if it works. Okay, cool. And now we can just go to the Qwen free. We need to thinking version. Oh, it's the top one. And here we go. Okay, so now if I run this, let's go to the terminal and use npm run dev. We got the, what did it go? Okay, so here we go. We have this starting application here. All right. All right, so I'm just gonna put this into action and let's see where it brings us. All right, I think we have a result here, and it took way longer than I thought it would. At least 30 minutes, if not longer. But the strength of this model is not speed; it's yeah, thinking, as is in the name. And if I gave it more resources, we could probably make it run faster. So all right, it says it's running right now. Is that because of this right now? Oh, it is running. So if I access to the 73 and LibreWolf, we should be okay. We have something here. So what did I tell it? I said something about let's change the template into a weather application with dummy data. Give me a graph of the temperature. So what it did was it installed the charts and it implemented some data here. And okay, what's basically just using these charts here. So the grid, and yeah, okay. So for generating a single file, I would say it did great. But it took way too long to generate. So yeah, but that's the other spectrum. We at first was using the Gemma for E2B, which was a very fast and yeah, small model, and this one is it's larger, but also in a thinking mode. I think it's been changed specifically for yeah, the logic weighs a lot more in this model than it did in the other one, so that was more engineered to be faster. Um, that's at least my take on it. But yeah, so whenever you are going to use this, you need to figure out, okay, what hardware do I have? You can maybe ask an AI. You can go to like Gemini, OpenAI, whatever, and tell it what your specs are, and then figure out which models are ideal for you, because you don't want any model that is too slow, and you don't want it too fast either. It might be lacking some logic right there. Um, So okay, so with that being said, I think this is a good place to end this tutorial, and I hope this gave you anything to be working with, how to get started with the LM Studio. And as I said, you can do more stuff with this program, and yeah, it's amazing basically. There are other uh, programs out there. If you don't fancy this one, I think a more simple one is Olama. But I like this a little bit more. It seems like you can tinker a lot with some settings. I don't think you can do that with Olama as far as I know. Might be wrong, but anyways, all right. So thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you like the content, and yeah, peace.